All right, guys. Hello, hello, hello. All right, this is for community for all of us, and we are live. I am actually waiting. I'm a little early myself, but it's like I told him, I said I'll probably start a little early. He's going to jump in. That's TFfanGeek. Um, be able to jump in here and check out. Let me pull this up. But yes, just going through, making sure I didn't miss anything. If you're making comments, you're in there, and I haven't got a chance to say anything yet, I apologize. So I think there we go. So if you didn't get to see, I actually got up on the podcast from last week, which was Final Harps. It was a great interview. Had a great time. I was very, very happy how it went. I was happy at what we got to discuss and stuff like that. So it was a very nice live stream. Making sure I paste that and hit the enter button. So there we go. And I am just now putting this out there for anyone and everyone that wants to jump in and be a part of it. You can. There we go. Hey, Lord Starscream. Hey, man, how you doing, brother? So let me go grab your email. Give me just a second. I'll go find your email real quick. There it is. Okay. And I am sending you a link, my man. And if you can, check your email, Lord Starscream. I got you the link out to you so that you can join in to the live stream. So it's been a rather busy week, getting things finalized, getting stuff done, looking over the proofs of the artwork for the book. Everything seems to be underway. Just been stuck here in the house has been really wearing on Nikki as of late. So I was telling her, I said, well, maybe we'll be able to get out to the park or to the river. It's not that far from our house. I'm gonna put this up really quick for you, Lord Starscream, so you can jump in here. And then I want to probably take it out. I want to make sure it was up for you. There we go. And I'm doing this thing for the community for all of us. And really what it's about is to let different people come in and talk about what their love. Solomus 44 is going to be here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think for him, it's going to be around 3. And we're going to look at his stuff that he does on Twitch and the gaming side of things. Great bunch of guys. Final Harps has been great. Been doing stuff in TikTok and been following and looking at what him and his wife does, and it's just amazing work. And when I was thinking about the community for all of us, I was sitting there thinking, it's just not the Transformer community. This community is in a lot of ways is bigger than people expect, and more people are, they cross mingle with each other on so many levels. And it's interesting when you start talking to individuals who knows who and who shares information and talks about stuff. And it's interesting to see that it is across the pond. It is up into Canada, it's into Alaska, all the way out to Hawaii, and to this country boy's back room. It's been really cool. Been really cool to get to talk to everyone, and doing so and being able to share this. And I wanted to make it where where it was community for all of us. It meant that anyone, whatever walk of life you're in, I didn't want to hold back from anybody. I decided to eliminate any type of preconceptions or any first. Nobody makes a great first impression, and I think a lot of people get held at that standard. Hey, my man.
Hey, how you been?
Been doing good. Doing good. You letting it grow back?
Yeah, taking longer to grow back now. I shaved it down to the skin, man.
Oh, I know. I do that on a regular basis. So, you got any new Transformers, or you been doing anything new since I haven't done a live stream in a while?
Yeah, I ended up, since this stupid quarantine thing started going on and all this dumb stuff going on. The last Transformer I bought was I got one of the reflectors from for the Siege line, and from there I've been ordering offline.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I've been doing the same thing. Nikki's cousin ended up actually getting the disease. He's a firefighter, and his wife's a nurse, or EM. Excuse me. His wife is the EMT. Is Nikki's other cousin that is the nurse, and apparently she got it and he got it. So yeah, they've been double quarantine. So we're still waiting. I think we have another thing. It's like a wait. It's like they got to figure out where they got it from, and they've been backtracking everything. So it's been really interesting about that. So, but yeah, he's doing good. They're young, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, but
Yeah.
they've been pretty good with it.
Oh,
But
and I real quick, I just remembered, and I also got, I think they're Battle Masters, the ones I can't remember their names, but the two jet ones. Hang on, let me get them. I also got these. Here they are. Got these two little guys.
oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I like, and the one doesn't have hands; he has nubbies, but you can still put the blast effects on them. Yeah,
Yeah.
little nubby hands. So
Yeah, and I had to watch some reviews, but I don't know which one's which. But one of the characters was actually called Whisper, but they had to change the name to Visper or something like that. I guess due to licensing or something like that.
yeah, it's so easy for you to lose copyrights, because copyrights can be for so many different things, and for each little level. So yeah, but yeah. Nikki got me this little guy.
What
So
you doing there?
that's right. It's so sweet. It's so cute. So I've got a whole little thing on TikTok with this little guy, and I've been putting them up, some of them up on YouTube. The other thing too is that she finally found me a G1 Repugnus. So it's like I finally have one of my holy grails is Repugnus G1. I love the character. He just something about him. I got the Amazon exclusive when it came out, and anytime I get my hands on it, I try to do that.
Ah.
So yeah. But yeah, it's good to finally do a little bit of the live streams, get some things taken care of. Uh, a lot of the headache and the drama that happened with my sister went away, so that was good. It was just a nice headache till all that stuff got cleared up. So, oh, you got your headset.
Yeah, I just remembered I had it in my drawer.
Awesome. You been playing any games lately since you're stuck at home like we all are?
Yeah, I've been playing Call of Duty, and the one thing I'm so mad about is that they discontinued the online stuff for the Transformers games now.
Did they?
Yeah, Activision, like Transformers War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron, Dark of the Moon, and all that. They not. I don't think it's no longer being supported anymore.
That sucks. I did not see that. My mind, my head's been in the doing the art, and then I've been playing a zombie game that was free on Xbox One. It's like Dawn of the Dead or something like that, and you're on this island of a resort. You're like the last survivors, and you got to collect all the stuff that you can so you can build your stuff to get off this island so you can get away from the contaminated. So it's been a good game, but it's been a little pain in the ass game too. So I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy this damn thing. I would have been so mad. There's certain things in it just that just doesn't make any sense, and there are glitches with it where you're telling the character to do this and the character runs off into the other direction, and you're like, why are you going to the horde of zombies? Go no, we're trying to get up the tree. So yeah, it's been pretty interesting. But yeah, I decided I was going to do these things where, I had talked to Optimus Wilbur, and I did one with Ninja Bill, and I'll make sure I'm going to change this since I got you. I was hoping that you would be able to make it tonight, so that we could chat, because this is the community for all of us, and that's this new little thing that I'm going to try and do and try and push big. The other thing too is that I'm now gotten back into the thing of advertisement, so I'm now doing my part in advertising the channel and stuff like that. Something I didn't think I would ever do, but I am going to do it. So, like with you, I think TFfanGeek is supposed to try and make it tonight. So when he does, that'll be good. Because, but yeah, so the way I'm going to do it, and I'm actually going to put this on a podcast, which will be on the podcast Autocorrect Primer. So you'll be in the podcast that will be there for tomorrow. But I want to ask, what was your first Transformer you ever got?
I'm going to pull up a picture of it wherever my phone went. But it's the Transformers universe, Optimus Prime and Megatron 2-pack. The one that has those little gimmicks where the thing spins on his arm. And yeah, those were my first two I ever owned.
Nice.
And after that, I think I got Legends Vector Prime from Transformers Cybertron.
Oh, Vector Prime! Wow. Which one is your holy grail? Which Transformer figure that's out there that if you ever got it would be like the holy grail, like Indiana Jones and sitting there and putting the sand on top of it so you can get the golden statue and run out. I mean, what's the figure that would be right there for you that you would just be like, oh my God? Oh, I got the comments. I am so sorry. I forgot to even look in comments yet.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Hey, Pac, how you doing? Oh, hey, Ruben. Yeah, and Ruben, I'm going to get with you so we could do that thing next week that you were talking about. The 15 figures. So I'll hit you up in Discord on that one. But yeah, so what?
And that reminds. Oh, real quick, that reminds me. I also got Studio Series Transformers 2007 Megatron, that Chrome version.
Oh yes. Oh, that's a beautiful figure.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
I was just going to say, and he doesn't have a lot of hollow points on him either. and the way that the ship nose cone folds into his body is amazing. That's some really good engineering on that figure.
And by the way, I'm glad you got your Astro Train. Finally.
Oh, God. Yes, he finally came in, and I took him out of the box, and Nikki was like, are you going to transform? I said, no, I've waited for a while just to be able to see him in his robot mode. Then I'll put him in his alt modes. So finally got him. Very cool figure. Highly recommend it. Anyone that can get it should.
Yeah. Yeah, I think right now he's going for $50 or maybe $70 right now.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
No, he's up there. Very surprised. Ruben says, if someone say Chrome, yeah, Ruben does a lot of stuff with Chrome for figures and other stuff. Really cool. He likes to chrome it out. So, the Holy Grail, and I love the Avengers shirt.
My wife got this for me.
Nice.
Like a figure I currently own right now, or I don't own just yet.
One that you don't own, but you hope to be able to get at one time or sometime.
To be honest, if I had the money for it, I mean, heck yeah, I would totally go for this. I can't remember which anniversary one this is, but I'm going to say it's the Fall of Cybertron version, but that giant Metroplex, I guess it's a slight mold of the Titans Return Fortress Maximus or something like that. I think that thing is really cool, but I'm still shocked on how much money it is. But
yes, it definitely is. And Ruben and Discord, I gotta get you on Discord, Lord Starscream, so you can be in the Ability Media, where you can get all the messages instead of going through emails and stuff like that. I'm actually utilizing it more. So Ruben, I just sent you the link, so you can jump in Discord. I direct message on that. But yeah, it's a that is a very expensive figure. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think that it would be as much as it is now, but it still really is.
Yeah.
Pack says Holy Grails is the Masters of the Universe Classic Castle Grayskull. I have that. If you see some of my TikToks or some of the ones that I've done, you'll see that I have that in Snake Mountain and the He-Man figure stand up in the den. Love that thing. Hey, Dark, how you doing, man? Thank you, man. Thank you. So yeah, it's been interesting. It's been for me, a Holy Grail for me is something that Ninja Bill has, is the G1 Omega Supreme. That one and Triptychon are like the two that I would love to be able to finally get my hands on. Because I remember those as a kid and going, oh my God, it would be so cool to have. But I had two other brothers, so we weren't able to get one of the big ones. Yeah, it's a beautiful figure. And we weren't able to get the big ones. I have my Castle Grayskull from my childhood. My mom surprised me that she still kept it. When she was moving, it was in her attic. And I was like, holy crap, what? So, but yeah. Hey, there's TFfanGeek.
Hello, everyone. Sorry for arriving late.
Oh, you're all right. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing to have. What's that?
I'm doing fine.
Good.
Yeah.
We were talking about, I was asking Lord Starscream about his Holy Grail figure that he would want to get.
Oh, yeah.
Mine would be, well, I be honest with you, one of the Holy Grails I actually got, very surprisingly, Animating Matrix. I mean, sent me a gift, which was the Cybertron Cybertron as himself. You know, that was the Toys R Us exclusive.
Oh yeah, Primus.
Promise, and finally have him, and it's like I was still shaking when I got it. I still have it sitting out right in the front. Where Nikki's like, "Are you going to set this for the other Transformer?" Wait a second. I think we got an echo going. Make sure I want to just mute mics for a second. There we go. And so with that, I got that in. I was extremely amazed by it. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it was even better than I expected." So, TFfanGeek, and then I'll get back to you, Ruben.
Yeah.
What would be your holy grail if you
My holy grail Transformer? Oh, without a doubt, it's Generation 1 Optimus Prime. To this day, I still do not have in my collection. I have never even touched with my hands a Generation 1 Optimus Prime. Not even any of the reissues. I came really, really close to getting one of the reissues at a thrift store several years ago. The problem was that Optimus Prime was in a plastic storage bin with a lot of other toys that were not Transformers at all, and wanted $35 for it. And at the time, I only had $20 in my wallet. And I went back a week later with the correct amount of money to see if it was there. Gone. That was the closest time I ever came to having Generation 1 Optimus Prime. If I had gotten that, I would have gotten the Walmart reissue as well, because Optimus Prime's trailer was there, but one of his hands was missing. So he was so we're talking about one of the reissue Optimus Primes that did have the trailer. The only part that appeared to be missing was one of his fists. So I almost had a trailer packed Generation 1 Optimus Prime in my time that I owned, and I missed it by $15.
Wow. Like in the chat we have where Darkin is saying that, don't get the one with the shortened stacks. I agree. I have the ones that were tall, and I didn't poke my eye out with that figure. I at least I must be one of the smarter kids not to put it in my mouth or in my eyeballs as I played with it. So yeah, I got my G1 that has the taller smokestacks. I have the Walmart reissued one, and yeah, he's got all the bells and whistles. Yes, he's got a nice paint coat on him, but those smokestacks are just too small. They just look like little midgets on his arms, and it's just takes away from it. So
I heard.
What's that?
So I was going to try and purchase another Transformer from Target's website the other day. Target put up for pre-order the Generation Selects cassette 4-pack that contains the blue version of Rumble along with Wing Thing, and then the other two cassettes, the third and the fourth, are Scar and Knock, the Power Masters who are partnered with Double Dealer. And on the video reviews that have already been put on YouTube, Double Dealer does have the same opening chest gimmick as Siege Soundwave that allows Scar and Knock to be stored inside him. So that's one of the incentives for buying that cassette 4-pack is two of the cassettes are Double Dealer's Power Master partners.
And Kato has a review up right now that he put up a couple of hours ago. I got to see. They're really cool.
Seen it.
You saw it too?
Yeah,
it's they're really nice. And it's like Nikki says. She says I want to wait and probably see if we can order that or get it later. Because she still wants Rat Bat. She still does. And I was like, well, you get the orange version. That's
what
And she was like, no. So
gotta have that magenta colored one.
Yeah.
For Rat Bat. Yeah.
Hey, Otto.
Yes, Ruben.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna switch this live stream to this phone. Give me a few seconds. Is that okay?
All right, and I'll let you back in, man.
All right, BRB. I got the link. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. And did that work for you? That link worked for you that way too?
Yeah, it did.
Awesome.
Yeah, I did. I apologize for my late arrival. I was eating dinner with my family, and we were watching The Waltons, one of my favorite TV series.
That's a good series.
Yeah. I bought seasons 1 through 4 as a surprise present for my family when the quarantine was right before the quarantine was announced. So that was just coincidence, but Yeah, and then my family, after I surprised them by buying seasons 1 through 4, we got seasons 5 through 9 in over the past few weeks. And right now we're on season 6 of the show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had reached out to Lord Starscream, and he came in. Hopefully, he'll be back.
Yeah.
But him and I were doing it for a little while together, so you would be able to get here, so I could do the interview with you. Now,
yeah.
I'm asking him the same questions that I'm going to be asking you. I do want to look in the chat real quick. Says, I wish Laserbeaks had his bird head. Yeah, my wife does too. She understood him having that since it was the way he looked on Cybertron. But yeah, she was a little bit down and out when it didn't have the bird head. She was like, "Oh, come on, Ravage does not even look good, and this Laserbeak doesn't have the bird head, darn it." And that's one of his favorite characters is Soundwave. So yeah. And Ruben is back, and says the Waltons. Holy crap.
No.
Your time. Yeah, the Waltons is back in the day. So I want to start with TFfanGeek, and this is also going to be up on my podcast, which will be up tomorrow on Autocrit Primer.
All
so
right.
I want to ask TFfanGeek some questions about the Transformers, and then I want to go to you, Ruben, and ask you the same thing. I already did it with Lord Starscream before y'all got here. So first thing up, I was actually mentioning was the Holy Grail. And TFfanGeek, you said the Holy Grail for you would actually be the G1 with the trailer of Optimus Prime. Now, if you were able to obtain this Holy Grail, would you stop collecting Transformers?
Would I stop collecting?
Yeah.
Oh no, I keep going. Collecting Transformers is what I want to make my lifetime hobby. I've seen other people my age do nastier habits, and that's what I've made collecting Transformers my habit. I've seen a lot of people where I live in California smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, but no, I decided to make my lifetime hobby collecting Transformers at the age of 12 when I was introduced to the franchise.
Nice. Now with that, the reason why I'm bringing this up is that someone from on one of my videos reached out to me and has said that his family wanted him no longer to be buying Transformers, that he was an adult now, and that with him being an adult, he needed. And he reached out to me because I am an adult, and I still get. And you are too. I'm not saying y'all aren't either. I'm just saying, he looked at me with a white beard like Santa Claus and was like, hey, what can I see, Ruben, you got black hair. Mine's like white, dude. Mine's like, Santa. I want to let it keep growing so that I can have the belly and everything to match together. But he reached out and he said, they're asking me to, put childish things away. And he says, and I've watched your stuff and I see you had that statement that your grandfather said to you. Was that true? And I was like, oh, that's 100% true. My grandfather told me, he said, hold on to something from your youth, you'll never grow old. He lived by that. I mean, that was something that he lived by. And where my mom and them were telling me, okay, you're playing football, you're in high school, you're going to go to college, you don't need to be, let's put these things away. When my mom was moving, I did not realize that it was my grandfather that convinced her to keep a lot of my action figures, a lot of my stuff from my youth, and my brothers too. She did it not just me, but she did it for my other brothers. My other brothers were like, I don't need it, and they gave it to me. So I was like, heck yeah, man, I got Star Trek, Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe, come out of the wazoo, and He-Man, and they've even reached back out to me and said, hey, do you still have this such and such figure? I remember that as a kid. I'm like, yeah, I sure got that. I still got that one. They're like, I missed that. And I was like, I can send it to you. That was yours originally. And so with that, what would you do if all of a sudden you couldn't get Transformers anymore?
That's a tough question. I've always been afraid to enter my mind. But worst case scenario, I'd sell off my Transformers collection, that the parts of it that I don't really play with. In fact, my collection finally got so huge, some of my Transformers are actually out in the garage. It's a lot of the yeah, I'm serious, Ruben Soto. Yeah, a lot of the movieverse Transformers that I that I was keeping in bins, I shoved them out of the way for Transformers figures that are being released in the overall Generations line, such as the Battlemaster Singe here. And I'd probably sell all of those off that I'm not too keen to have in my collection anymore. My fascination with the live-action movies has gone out, and so I've actually been debating about whether or not if I should start selling off some of my movieverse Transformers, the ones that I don't really have any emotional attachment to.
Well, I'll share something with you on that. I've actually been in that point. And, you know, at the time when I sold them, I sold a lot of my figures for one of Nikki's big surgeries that she had. And I sold a big part of my collection off to pay for that. And, you know, looking back on it, I know I did it for a good reason. But a part of me goes, man, I missed that figure. I didn't care anything about the figure, but it was in my collection. And you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't want to get rid of it. I like what Dark says. Is talking about adults, you know, giving away stuff like that. So, Ruben, this question is also going out to you. What would be your Holy Grail figure? And if you probably got it, it'd be like, you know, Indiana Jones, you just went to the Temple of Doom, you just walked out with the gem, and somebody's going to try to take it from you, and you're going to fight them with a will. What would you do? Which one would be your Holy Grail?
Who's next? I forgot.
Your Holy Grail Transformer.
All right. Wait, this is my turn. I forgot.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay. Now, before I'm going to continue this, who's the viewer said their parents don't want to buy toys? Who was it?
They asked me not to reveal their names, so that's why I didn't. But they had reached
just the
out.
YouTuber name. Just the YouTuber name.
They asked me not to.
No one remained.
Okay.
Let's just call them anonymous.
Yeah, they said, "I'm going to. Do you mind if I share the story?" And they're like, "Yes, just don't share my name. Don't share my YouTube too." And I was like, "I got you. I fully understand."
All right. If he's seen this, he's not alone. My parents asked me, do me the same thing, just like, "Oh, save up money, go to college." Jesus Christ! What? Okay, well, here's a lot of reason why I'm keep collecting. 1, I'm bored. 2, that's my life. 3, bless you. because anyways, bless you. By the way, that's number 3. These are the reason why I collect whatever I want as my life. I don't want to even go to college because it's too much work. Even had to deal with some people that I hate so much during high school who've been torturing me for 4 years.
And, you know, I get it. I mean, you know, we are at a point in time where colleges is not like it used to be pushed. Everybody had to go and everybody needed to go. I'm not going to tell somebody not to go to college, but I'm going to tell you that you need to follow your heart. I'm going to say you need to make sure that the choices that you're making today are going to be choices you can live with later on in life. And that is the same thing about with our collection. Now, the thing is this, I've said, you know, if our collection becomes all consuming, and what I mean by that, if our collection becomes all consuming, that is, we're giving up our time, we're giving up our energy, we're focusing on the hobby and not around us. That is a time where you need to kind of step back and recollect yourself, because you never want your hobby to be your end all be all who you are. Take it from someone that has had that, who's walked on that my hobby and my career became my end all be all. And then when you lose it, you become devastated and you go through a type of withdrawal. And it's a good thing to have a balance. But Dark brought up a good thing, saying, you know, dealing with KOs and third party. If all of a sudden you couldn't get, let's say Hasbro isn't going to produce Transformers anymore, What would you do?
God.
You're up first.
Okay, you crossed the line. I'm leaving. You crossed the line.
Oh
You
no,
crossed
Ruben, don't tell me that.
goddamn line. You got triggered. And also, screw the Holy Grail. I'll still continue my collection. Screw the Holy Grail, but I'll take it anyways. Why? Because I'm a rat.
So we call you Rat Trap.
Or Ratman's photo.
Ratman Soda.
I'm sorry, that just came off the top of my head.
Keeps me happy, and that's good for both me and the people around me. That's true. It needs to be.
It's good, Marcona.
Yeah. So the other thing too is we've now got so many Transformers out there. I'll jump over the third party talk for this time. But we have the part where we have Transformers coming out of the wazoo. We have, the Cyberverse line, we got the Studio line, we got the One Steps, we've got the Deluxe now, and now we also have the Cyberverse or the Siege or Earthrise.
And we even have Authentics at the pharmacy stores.
Yeah, what now?
Yeah. We have another Transformers line that's appearing at pharmacy drugstores such as CVS, Walgreens, and Rite Aid. I got 3 figures from that line. They're called Authentics Bravo. They're basically Generation 1 Transformers that they're almost like Legends class size figures, but they're 4 inches tall. And I guess because Hasbro did away with the Legends class size, starting with the Siege line last year, they created this line called Transformers Authentics Bravo, they're basically Generation 1 characters that are 4 inches tall, and they have the transformation of Micromaster.
That's pretty cool. I hadn't seen them yet. I'll have to look. But me and Nikki can't get out because under the quarantine, we both have really major health issues. But apparently, Nikki's mom was telling Nikki that the Dollar General that's not that far from our house had this whole new Transformers that was inside the store. And they're based off of the Cyberverse line. And there's like a Soundwave, a Megatron, an Optimus Prime, and I think a Prowl is the other one. And I was surprised. And they're supposed to be like almost 6 inches tall. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah, there's 2 sizes of Transformers in the Transformers Authentics line. The standard size are the 6 inches, and they're simply known as Authentics, but the smaller 4-inch figures are known as the Transformers Bravo. But because it's the same thing as the Authentics line, I call it Authentics Bravo because.
Did you get one? You said.
What?
Did you get one of them?
I got 3 of them. There's 5 that have existed over the past few months, and the 6th one was just released this last week. What's his name? Charles Emmanuel, I think is his name. This guy who does a lot of reviews on Transformers, and I can't remember who else does. There's already 2 video reviews, but the 5 that exist, Optimus Prime and Megatron were released first, and then Bumblebee and Starscream were released. I have Prime and Megatron, and then Grimlock was the 5th one. I found Grimlock at my local Rite Aid store, and then the 6th character in the Transformers Bravo line that was just released this past week was Ratchet.
Oh, okay.
So there's now a Generation 1 4-inch tall version of Ratchet that's now existing out there. And I've seen it at my local Rite Aid and CVS pharmacies, the Transformers Bravo figures. It's a decent price. They're nice. Where I live, Transformers action figures are a little expensive. Where I live, they're retailing for $6. I think the price tag for them is either $4.99 or $5.99, depending on which part of the U.S. you're in. But considering, and I had actually said in a video on someone else's live stream video, I think it was Ninja Bill 1000's, shout out to him. I showed off the Authentics Bravo Optimus Prime, how terrible of a figure it is, and I called it my worst figure that I purchased for last year in 2019.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But they are pretty great.
That's pretty cool. Now, with that in mind, do you think that Transformers that were starting to get kind of thinned out? There's a thing that I've been noticing. Well, actually, I didn't notice it. Nikki actually noticed it because Nikki keeps up with the the comment sections and the chats of Transformer community and stuff like that. And the one thing that she was hearing or reading, she said, was that people were getting tired of G1.
Mm-hmm.
Getting really tired of everything's now G1. Siren versus G1. Siege and Earthrise is G1. Even like the figures that you're describing there from the as G1 characters.
Yeah.
Do you think that we're oversaturated with G1? Or do you think that's not a big crop for anyone to have?
I think the answer to that question is both yes and no. We are kind of oversaturated with Transformers Generation 1, but I read an article, I can't remember what website it was, but what Hasbro is trying to do is they're trying to, and I had the word in my mind and I just lost it, my train of thought derailed on me again.
That's okay.
But yeah, Hasbro is trying to really concentrate on just a specific thing. I forgot what that's called. They're trying to, what's the word where a franchise... What?
They're trying to prioritize?
Not, well, it's where they concentrate on just a few characters. They're trying to, forgot the word, but they're trying to make a foundation of characters that, as we're trying to do. I had the word in my mind and I forgot it. They're trying to...
kind of like what they had to do with Megatron a while back, where they were going to lose the name Megatron and they got it back, and then from then on, anytime there's a Transformer line, there's always going to be a Megatron in that cartoon, no matter what.
Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
they were trying. Yeah, I almost had that again, but yeah, what they were trying to do is they're trying to make a core cast of Transformers characters: Optimus Prime, Megatron, Bumblebee, Starscream, Soundwave, and Wave. Oh, congrats, Ruben! He got Earthrise Hoist.
Oh, he also customed it too, didn't you? Your hoist.
I don't know. His mic's muted.
Okay. Dracon says G1 fan, I can understand that. Yeah, from a Gen X, I get you. I'm right there too. And I'm going to be honest. That was something that Nikki and I both were sitting back talking about. We were like, how many, these characters from this line do we want to still get that's kind of looking more like Carbon? You have so many Ironhides, you're going to have a whole crap load of red on your display, except for the Studio Series where he's black. Mm-hmm. But but see, the Studio Series didn't have a lot of colors to their characters either. Mm-hmm. A lot of grays, a lot of blacks. So, Ruben, do you think that that would be in G1 out, that is becoming too much G1, or it doesn't really matter?
To me, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
So you're good if it's a G1 fill or if it's a Studio Series, you're good. Okay, that's pretty cool.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, and what I was going to say is that I said both yes and no. Yes, because there's a lot of Transformers characters from the Generation 1 franchise, but I'm also saying that no, it's not, because I think what Hasbro and Takara Tomi's goal is to do right now is try and release updated action figures of every single Generation 1 Transformers figure that was released in the Generation 1 line from 1984 to 1990 until it ended in Japan. And most of the characters that have been given action figures are the more obscure characters that were more known by Japanese Transformers fans back in the late 80s, such as Spinister here, for example, or even even though he was released by Takara Tomy, Diatlas right here. And so what I think Hasbro and Takara Tomy are trying to do is they're trying to release updated figures of every single Generation 1 Transformers character, and even if they're released as exclusives, I think they're trying to do that before they move on to anything else.
Well,
yeah,
like you were saying, Dark, what he was saying has in there says, I realize at this point that I've been on a years-long journey to just fill out a mostly complete G1 roster. I agree. Me too. Mm-hmm. I'm right there with you.
Exactly.
Hasn't happened yet. if I could manage that, I'd probably be done with Transformers for the most part. Now, I don't know if I would be done with Transformers for the most part because I hope to get new characters. And I like the custom you did on that hoist. I like the white and stuff that you added. But Nikki and I have been finding the little cheap one steps, and these things have been actually really fun to play with.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why the appeal is there. It takes you back to that G1 feel. It's one of the reasons why I laugh a lot of times whenever the one steps don't get a lot of love, because they're like, I want the G1 feel. Well, you want a G1 feel, and you don't have a lot of articulation. So if you don't have a lot of articulation, it would be the one step. I find that interesting. But you got hoist there, Ruben. And you did a custom on it. So and guys of you, this is a podcast and it is live on YouTube, I'm going to explain what he's got. He's got hoist, which comes out from the earth rods, and he has added some nice white details to do really good highlight. I think he's done a really good job. It definitely makes it pop. I have to say that. So what made you decide to go
G1? Well, hold on, my mom is coming.
All right. I'll mute you for a second. And so with that, when he gets back, I'll let him jump back in. From the Transformer stuff that you're seeing, would you like to see? Now, I'm going to go ahead and speak on this. I personally would love to see cross generations. What I mean by that is that I would love to see the Transformers finally go and say, you know what? DC Comics has multiple realities. Marvel has multiple realities. We need to just make a multiple reality cross the board. I think it was Kato that mentioned it on the Tales from Teletran podcast, saying that would be great to see that be at the very end. One thing I thought was interesting that no one has pointed out is that if you have the box for Earthrise, if you look at the top flap on Earthrise, you see Galvatron. He's floating in space.
Yeah,
you see Galvatron there. But then on that same box, you see Megatron. Me personally, I would love to see those two characters be separated. I've never been a fan of Galvatron and Megatron being the same character. That's just I've always been my preference. I would love to see a cross generation. What would you think about that? If all of a sudden, Hasbro says, okay, for us to do this and make it do it right, so we can keep bringing out figures for this line and keep this going and generating money. Would you like to see them do a cross generations?
Oh, definitely I would. And in fact, we've gotten an idea of what that would look like with on Dennis Moulton, aka Gotbot's channel, his stop motion video series Universal Collision.
Yes,
that was an ingenious idea, and it's one of my top 3 all-time favorite stop motion series about the Transformers on YouTube.
I know, I love Gotbot. If you've not checked it out, please check out Gotbot's channel. He does a lot of great guys do a lot of the talking. One of the guests has been on here, which is Master Farr. Does the voices, and then with that you have this cross generational from the Beast Wars characters to the G1 characters to the studio, and Prime and the whole 9 yards. I love it.
Yeah. So I got that word that I lost earlier. So what Hasbro and Descartes, what Hasbro announced, someone posted on a website that what Hasbro is trying to do is they're trying to have a core cast of Transformers characters. A small group of Transformers that are always focused on kind of like what Hanna-Barbera and Tonka did with the GoBots, where you have the same characters all the time, but then other characters occasionally pop in. So that's what Hasbro and Takara Tomy are trying to do with the Transformers franchise. They're trying to have, on the Autobot side, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Windblade, Grimlock, and I don't know who else. RC maybe. Hot Rod. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to have a core cast of Transformers characters, and Decepticons, Megatron, Starscream, Shockwave, Soundwave, That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to have a core cast of Transformers characters and then have all the other characters just pop in on occasion to remind everyone that it's not just a small group. There's several hundred of those characters around, like Repugnus there that you have. So yeah, that's what Hasbro and Takara have been trying to do the past few years. They've been trying to establish a core cast of Transformers characters so that the Transformers franchise can have a focal point of characters that new fans can come in and focus on, and then spread out from there with the characters.
And we're coming up to the hour mark. This is how I'm going to mark it. But before I do, I just want to make sure I put this in there. Dark says that, this to keep the risk at minimum. It absolutely is. I know that's what they're trying to do. And then not have so many obscure characters. But this is the 1 hour mark. And how I will do this is that we will keep talking. If you're a part of the live stream, you will be able to keep on hearing the live stream on as we go. I'm marking this for the segment for the podcast. Right now, TFfanGeek, tell people quickly where they can see your stuff and what you do.
Okay, so I don't really like to use the internet too much, so I am strictly here on YouTube. But over the past 4 months, I've also come to be on Discord. So please feel free to look me up on Discord. I can't remember what my numbers are on there.
I got you.
On there, but yeah, Ruben Soto, you're a friend. You befriended me on Discord. I've actually been waiting for. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Discord. I upload all my videos on YouTube. You can watch them all there. And on Discord, I like to chat and add and leave messages with everyone on Discord.
Okay, Ruben, within a minute time, because we're winding down to the hour mark, so I can get everybody in. Where can they find your stuff, and what do you do? Under a minute.
All right. Everyone already know the rules. So I like the TFfanGeek, by the way. Your number is 4863. You're welcome, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
If they want to follow me every media, they could go to my channel. If they want to follow me everything, link in the description down below. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Steam, Discord, Twitch, and Origin. Follow me on the Discord group I have.
And there we go. Guys, thank you so much for being part of our podcast for tonight. Guys, this will be up on Anchor and other roundabout other places that you can hear podcasts. Remember what my grandfather always said: hold on to something from your youth, you'll never grow old. Look to the stars, strive one for yourself. Thank you so much, and everyone, y'all have a good night as we're going to continue on from here on. So give me about 2 minutes. I'll tell y'all when we can start talking again. So bye, guys. Hold on a second. All right, we're good. We can keep talking. There we go. I just had to make sure I got that mark in there at the 1 hour. But yeah, we can still keep on our conversation.
So earlier I had told you about the Bravo Transformers autocorrect primer. So this is the Bravo Optimus Prime.
Oh, okay.
So the idea behind the Bravo Transformers, they're being sold at pharmacy drugstores, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid. I don't know what other pharmacy chains there are. Those are the three that are most common where I live in Southern California. So these are the Bravo or Authentics Bravo Transformers. They're 4-inch tall Transformers. They're Generation 1 characters, and they have the same amount of articulation as the Micromasters from the Siege and Earthrise lines. Entire arm here on Optimus Prime is one joint on the shoulder. His head can turn, but it's a very tight ball joint, so I don't even bother. Ball jointed hips and ball jointed knees, so his legs can move forward and backwards. The main problem with the Authentics Transformers is the plastic is super thin, and the transformation is very wonky. Because Optimus Prime, he looks sort of decent at the front, but when you turn him to the side, look at this. The entire upper half of the truck cab is his backpack. And when you transform Optimus Prime, it's held up by this teeny ball jointed hinge joint.
So he's a shell former.
That's the lazy work.
Yeah. And when you turn Optimus Prime around, and you guys might want to shade your eyes from how horrible his legs are, because like looking here at the front, his legs look pretty decent, and from the side, he has the wheels. Brace yourselves for this. Turn him around. There is no back
That
to
is
his
hollow.
legs.
That is hollow. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Look at him from the bottom of his feet. His legs are L's.
No,
Oh.
TFNG, please put it away. Or I swear to God, I'll put it away, please. Or I'm going to grab it and smash it to pieces.
That has
Please.
the new name is Hobo Prom. That's Hobo Prom.
Please get.
Yeah, when you find these guys at the store, they're packaged in robot mode. It's a clamshell bubble with a card back, and on the back, the product photos aren't even in color; they're in black and white. So that's how you know you found this when you look in the back of the box and the product photos are black and white. So to transform Optimus Prime, you lift his backpack up on this teeny tiny hinge, rotate his arms. Oh, and one nice thing about Optimus Prime, his one Autobot logo that he has on his robot mode shoulder, it's actually sculpted on the surface of it. It's not a sticker and it's not painted on a flat surface. It's actually sculpted on there. Oh, he has another Autobot logo here on his truck cap. That's sculpted into the surface as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one of the only decent things about Optimus Prime is that his Autobot logos are actually a sculpted part of him. So you try and shove his arms in there, bring the truck cab down, and then the legs you just rotate 180 degrees, and oops, I forgot. The leg before you bring his arms together, because the arms are what keeping the legs locked in place. And here is Olympics Bravo Optimus Prime in his truck mode.
I
on it.
think Dark has said it. Look, holy crap is a Happy Meal toy. No Happy Meals without even
things. And look at here on the bottom. That's why Optimus Prime's legs are hollow. They wrap themselves around not just his hips, but his entire waist to form the back half of the truck.
Do I have permission to smash it with a hammer, please? Do I have permission?
But yeah, just look at that. The entire upper half of the truck is held on this tiny hinge to make it transform, and it's just a backpack when Optimus Prime is in robot mode. So that's the Bravo. That's the Transformers Bravo 4-inch action figures, and Megatron's no better. Look at Megatron. See these black things here on the sides of his tank mode?
Yeah.
His robot mode feet. That's the only that's where they store when he's in his tank mode. Oh, and you want to see the wheels Megatron rolls on when he's in tank mode?
Yeah.
No, please. No.
Good luck finding them. They're empty slots.
They're empty slots.
Yeah. Megatron, you just push him along, and that's it.
I'm in tears right now. Stop.
You want to see where Megatron's head is? Turn the tank around to the back, and that's where Megatron's head stores when he's in vehicle mode. He is not even the Bravo version of Megatron is not even a robot in disguise. Because look here, that's where his hands go on the tank turret.
Oh God, I'm crying right now.
That is not a good robot in disguise. But yeah, I think, like Dark says on there, he says that these are probably made for kids, really young kids. I get that,
Yeah.
But okay, here's the difference. That roughly how much did that cost? TFfanGeek?
$6.
Okay, $6. Okay, so this one here cost me $9 off of Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So very cool. Does this
$20.
arms all move everything? He is the one step, so he does do this, and everything comes around. Taps in.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Look how he's solid. No gaps, solid. And he has great articulation, just like, and this one was, let's say, I'll round this one up to $10. I'll say this is $10. Great paint apps, great colors, very nicely done. Yes, it's a one step, but I have made this is, by the way, if you didn't know this yet, this is ACP's mascot for the channel.
Repugnance.
Yep, Repugnance is.
I thought he was your co-host.
He is that too. So I'll be having some more of him coming out very shortly. He's going to be very happy because he'll have his whole army that will be with him.
Yeah.
Oh no! Get that thing away from me.
Here's Megatron in his robot mode, and when I have his arms folded down to the sides,
yeah.
Here's Megatron on the side.
Oh shoot! He's a pancake.
What the hell?
He's a pancake.
Exactly. And do you want to see what the back of Megatron's legs look like?
I'm worried.
No, stop.
They're no better than Optimus Prime's.
So you got Hobo Prime and Hobo Megs.
Exactly.
Hold on. Imagine both of them outside in the streets, like, "Hey, can I have a new piece of leg, please?"
Yeah. And the way you rotate Megatron and the way Megatron's feet when you transform him into robot back and forth between robot mode and tank mode, you might think he has ankle rockers because he does have ankle joints. But when you use the ankle rocker, look, they rotate the wrong way. So Megatron's ankles are useless.
You know, I'm sorry, but I have to agree with what Dark says. He says, I think even a kid is smart enough to look at those and know that they're getting gypped hard.
And every single joint on the Authentics Transformers, every single joint is a ball and socket joint.
The ball joints don't really bother me as much. You know, I know a lot of people it does, but it doesn't bother me that much. As long as I still have the articulation that I can still do stuff with. But him being that flat like a pancake, I mean, that's like back in the day when you knew that your parents said they were going to get you a G.I. Joe and they didn't get you a G.I. Joe, they got you Action Cord, or you sat there and wanted to get Legos and they gave you Mega Blocks. I mean, you know you'd be jibbed out somewhere. Here's your Optimus Prime and your Megatron. The kids looking at it going,
But even worse than Megatron's actual tank mode and his actual robot mode, the Bravo version of Megatron, the worst part of him is actually transforming him. Because ideally, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to bring his arms up and somehow rotate them around like that so they form the tank turret. But at least on my copy, it's actually easier if you pop the arms off the ball joint and manually rotate them, because there is no clearance between Megatron's shoulder and his foot for that step in the transformation to work properly.
Oh my gosh!
You actually have to. So it's actually easier to detach and reattach Megatron's arms to get him from robot mode to tank mode, and vice versa.
No, that's disgusting. No, get that thing out of here. Get that thing out of here.
Here's the thing to think about, though, guys. Hasbro is looking to find ways of cut corners. That's been the new complaint about Earthrise is we're already starting to see corners being cut, such as Starscream doesn't have a waist rotation. Now there's starting to be a little bit more hollow points in these figures, and they're not like the others where they're solid. That's just sad there, TFfanGeek. That's just sad.
And look at this. Megatron's tank is smaller than Optimus Prime's truck.
Make a stop, please.
It is a little wider, but yeah.
That's bad.
Please make a stop.
But, when you're taking a look at Hasbro, and they are an industry company trying to make money, you do have where they license out G.I. Joe, but to my shock, G.I. Joe 3.25-inch figures are going to start showing up at Walmart as Toys R Us toys exclusives for that size, even though they're going to have the $20 figures sitting out there from Jax. Now, the question is that if Hasbro is looking to cut corners, what is the third wave going to look like when we get to Unicron being released? What do you think the figures will look like then?
What do I think the figures will look like then? I'd say they'd probably be slightly smaller than the figures we're getting now. They'll probably be downsized, and they'll probably be similar in appearance to using a Siege action figure, for example, a Siege Impactor, where on some angles it looks the same, but yet when you look at some parts of him, like with Impact, this controversy with Siege Impactor was that the insides of his legs were hollow, completely. And so I think what we're going to see is that for third-party companies, instead of original figures, we're going to see an increase in upgrades that have filler parts, because that's what's popular with third-party companies right now. That's on Amazon. That's the most commonly seen third-party Transformers figures that I've seen are the upgraded parts that are gap fillers. So I think what we're going to see is an increase in Hasbro and Takara Tomy, the official Transformers, having hollowed out gaps. Hopefully not as horrible as the hollowed legs on Bravo Optimus Prime. Because that's just horrible. But I think we're going to see an increase in the number of third-party companies that are releasing upgraded parts for filler.
Damn it.
I think they might become slightly more hollowed and slightly smaller, but the price is going to increase. I think that's my fear.
I think that's going to be I think what will end up also happening, I think personally, is that Hasbro is going to start making the figures smaller. And Joy start making the figure smaller. They're going to do it, and they're going to, for a while, keep the price cap at the same across the board. So it's going to be the same as it is right now. They're not going to jack it up. I think they're going to make the figures smaller. If you really take a look at the Earthrise figures that have been released, and you do put them up next to the Siege, there are, from the Voyager and from the Deluxe, there is a difference. Not much, but just a little bit difference in their height. So I think that they'll probably go smaller. And when they go smaller, I think what you'll end up having is the new Commander class, which is Jetfire and Skylynx. That will be your new Titan class.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the size that we got Cliff Jumper, and seeing that people were willing to pay $20 for that Cliff Jumper, I think that'll be your new deluxe size. And then I think that the deluxe size will probably be close to your Voyager size, and your Voyager size will be for your new class.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what I do. I do think that that's essentially telling us the times that we're in. With that, but it was
So this is a question I actually wanted to ask you guys. I've seen on some websites such as Amazon Canada and Entertainment, and for a while it was on Entertainment Earth. Supposedly, Wave 2 of Earthrise, officially it's supposed to be released around September, but I've seen on some websites such as Amazon Canada, supposedly Wave 2 of Earthrise might end up getting released in July.
yes.
So my question is, in light of the coronavirus, what month do you think Wave 2 of Earthrise will be released? July or September?
Well, I've already gotten a notice for some of my Earthrise that they're going to be shelved, and it's already got a shipping date that's going to be released on June 3rd.
And what website is that?
That's Amazon.
No way, I gotta check that out.
Yep, give me a second. I'll try and pull it up for you. Let me go back.
Alba they were released probably December
Let me see.
here where I live.
Because I was surprised that I got Hot Rod in from the Cyberverse Deluxe class. I was very surprised that came in because I was told it wouldn't be till July, and it came in yesterday. And here and that. And boom. So
I'm looking at Amazon. I'm bored right now.
Okay.
So like tomorrow, on Monday, I'll be getting the Grimlock from the Deluxe, and on the 12th, I'll be getting the Transformers Volume 2, and then where's my other one?
Oh yes. Wait, how much money do I have?
Trying to find. There's October. It's October, September. Let me go
Damn
back.
it.
Nikki's got so many things from the garden that she's ordered. I'm trying to roll through all the things of the shipping.
Yeah.
I have bad news.
What you got?
I found a figure that I wanted so badly. It's in $10. Now the lowered price to about $7, and there's a problem. I have only $5. Look, guys, look.
Move it over a little bit. I can't see who it is.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
And there's a problem. Here's my price. Looking really.
Only got $5.95. Ooh, I know how you feel.
Can someone buy one for me, please? I'll give you a shout out on YouTube. Look, I'm bored. I need someone buy it for me. I need new stuff. Look at me. I'm suffering here, man. I'm like a lab rat.
Well, on that, that's all right. Well, Nikki's giving me the time because I got an early morning. So thank you guys for being with me. Thank y'all for hanging out. But I'm going to be ending it. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys.
All right.